I don't buy it, right?
I can get back to you on the details of that.
Get back to me. All right. From now on, you won't collect location health data without, what you're saying at all. Is that a commitment?
This is data that's frequently collected by many other companies in our industry.
With the committee? And you can do that
I
in
can
writing?
follow up with you if you like. Congressman, I'll be delighted to check with my team and get back to yours and be collaborative.
Thank you.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. We will need to look at this because Project Texas is designed to move forward here in the United States, and we are not discussing this, so I don't have specifics.
In China?
Congressman, I'm really glad you asked this question.
Do they, yes or no?
I'm not sure because...
Yeah, whoa, come on now. You're not sure?
I really am not sure. I can get back to you on the technical details, but it's comprehensive.
And how long will that review take?
I need to get back to you on the timeline.
I understand, but I mean, there's a software solution for integrating those code changes into the code base. What solution is that?
I will need
Use
to
a
check
commercial
and
one?
get back to you on the details.
Okay.
That will be a very technical question. I will have to check and get back to you. I need to look into the specifics. I need to look at the specifics of the report, Congressman, and I can get back to you on that.
Right.
Has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think the spying is the right way to describe it.
Oh.
I know ballpark, it's quite a significant team, but I can get back to you on the details. Congressman, I will have to study that specific example and get back to you.
It's a hypothetical.
Congressman, again, this is a very complex topic. I will need to get back to you on the
Understand
specifics.
that.
I can get back to you on specifics.
Yes, please get back with us on the specifics.
I can get back on the specifics, yes. This is a recent article. I have asked my team to look into it. I would need to check on those numbers and get back to you on specifics.
I'd appreciate those numbers.
Yes. So, Congresswoman, I will look into the details of that and get back to you. These are very important questions, and I will get back to you on the specifics. And let me look at the specifics and bring some of the best practices across the world. But those discussions are, I need to get back on you on the specific. I can look into that specifically and get back to you. After this, I'm going to go and look into the specifics of that.
All right, thank you.
I will need to get back to you on the specifics.
Okay.
There is, I'll get back to you on the specifics.
Okay.
Congressman, that is a more complex topic. I will need to speak to my team and get back to you on the specifics.
Is that also true about the gun video that you saw today? Was that extreme content that should have been taken down?
I would need to look at the specifics of the whole video. There was a bit of lag just now. We couldn't see the whole video. I can get back to you on the specifics, but dangerous misinformation is moderated regardless of language.
What data, where the data goes and how it's used by the company?
It will travel outside of the United States, but I can get back to you on the specifics.
And I understand that. I think we would want to have some understanding of how we would distinguish that by definition and then also how it would be enforced.
I can get back to you on those specifics.
Right.
I can get back to you on the specifics, but
I think we'd also want to know how it's anonymized and what oversight and enforcement we can count on.
okay, I can get back to you on specifics.
Thank you.
The only purpose that you would monitor keystrokes is for security purposes.
I can get back to you on more specifics.
Okay. And does TikTok keep records of users' credit cards and passwords?
I'm not aware of that. You don't need that to log in. Of course, I can get back to you on specifics.
Would store credit card and password information?
I need to check on the specific.
And you think that that'll be done by the end of the year, was that right?
Again, I can get back to you on the technical parts of it.
Yes or no?
Congressman, I need to get back to you on specifics.
They helped you.
What publicly available data is TikTok collecting and adding to the profiles of users?
It will be publicly available, but I can get back to you on specifics.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Shou, for bringing Republicans and Democrats together. Appreciate that. I want to get right to the critical point of concern. So TikTok is able to collect massive amounts of personal data. We all know that. That means it could, if it desired, to use this data to influence narratives and trends, create misinformation campaigns, encourage self-destructive behavior, purposefully allow drug cartels to communicate freely and organize human and drug trafficking. Now, to be fair, all social media companies could do that. But here's the difference. It is only TikTok that is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. All these other social media companies are not. Mr. Chu, do you agree that TikTok is controlled by the CCP?
No.
Okay, I thought you'd say that. I disagree, as you thought I might say. Here's why I disagree. Your parent company is ByteDance, right?
That's correct.
It is correct. So many of the workers who work at ByteDance, they're Communist Party members, right?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I think, for example, the chief editor at ByteDance, Zhang Vuping, is the Communist Party secretary, correct?
He works on the Chinese business, not on TikTok.
Right. He works for ByteDance, the parent
He works on
company.
the Chinese business.
Right. The parent company of TikTok.
The Chinese business is called Douyin.
Yeah, but it's all associated with ByteDance, right?
So ByteDance owns a number of businesses.
Right.
They are
You all report to ByteDance. Everybody's part of ByteDance. Okay? And do you know of any other employees that work for ByteDance that are part of the Chinese Communist Party?
Like I said, ByteDance owns Chinese businesses and they operate in China.
You don't know how many, but you acknowledge many must be card-carrying members of the CCP, right?
They're in the Chinese business, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the CCP holds what's called a golden share in ByteDance that allows the CCP to control one board seat in ByteDance. That's publicly
That's
reported.
not correct.
It's not correct? It's been
not
publicly
correct.
reported. They admitted to it.
You can, on our website, we have updated it, so we can give people more transparent information on this. They have a share in a subsidiary that is only for the Chinese business. It has nothing to do with TikTok. And it's for the purposes of content licensing in China.
So there's not an internal CCP committee, which is a regular thing that happens in China. They have a CCP committee internally inside the company.
I run TikTok. I cannot represent the Chinese
ByteDance.
business.
Talking about ByteDance. No arrangement in ByteDance? So
Again,
here's the main point of concern. China's 2017 national intelligence law states very clearly that, quote, any organization or citizen shall support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work in accordance with the law and maintain the secrecy of all knowledge of state intelligence work. In other words, ByteDance, and also your TikTok employees that live in China, they must cooperate with Chinese intelligence whenever they are called upon. And if they are called upon, they're bound to secrecy. That would include you. So, Mr. Chu, if the CCP tells ByteDance to turn over all data that TikTok has collected inside the US, even within Project Texas, do they have to do so, according to Chinese law?
Congressman, first, I'm Singaporean.
That's fine, but there are employees of yours and ByteDance is in China.
We understand this concern. In my opening statement, we said, we hear these concerns, we didn't try to avoid them or trivialize them. We built something where we take that data and put it out of reach. This is what we did. We put it out of reach.
Out of reach, but they own you.
No, we put it out of reach by storing them.
ByteDance owns TikTok. If ByteDance is, and the CCP owns ByteDance, because the CCP owns everybody in China. And so by law, they can make them do whatever they want, and they say that by law, you can't tell anyone about it. So they can make you hand over that data. Is that correct?
Data is stored here in American soil by an American
Well,
company
you say that.
overseen by American
We thought
personnel.
that, but leaked audio from 80 internal TikTok meetings shows that US user data has been repeatedly accessed from China when you said it hasn't been. And here's the other thing, following back on my colleague's line of questioning, in your own privacy policy, it says that you may share information within your so-called corporate group. Is ByteDance part of that corporate group?
If you're talking about this, the share of the entity with
Right.
with the share, like I shared with the previous.
Is ByteDance part of the corporate group?
ByteDance as a holding company is part of the corporate group. Yes.
It's part of the corporate group.
Yeah.
Okay, so your own privacy policy says you have to share data with ByteDance. And if the CCP says, hey, ByteDance, you're going to do what we say, and you can't tell anyone about it because by law, according to that 2017 national intelligence law, they have to do it. That's our concern. Maybe you haven't done it yet, but my point is that you might have to. And that's where our concerns come from. I mean, over 300 TikTok employees have worked for China's state-run propaganda media. That's just from looking at their LinkedIn profiles. Okay, so and my last point is this. I want to say this to all the teenagers out there and TikTok influencers who think we're just old and out of touch and don't know what we're talking about, trying to take away your favorite app. You may not care that your data is being accessed now, but it will be one day when you do care about it. And here's the real problem. With data comes power. They can choose what you see and how you see it. They can make you believe things that are not true. They can encourage you to engage in behavior that will destroy your life. Even if it is not happening yet, it could in the future. The long-term goal of the Chinese Communist Party is the demise of the American power, and that starts with our youth. At any moment, they could demand that all of TikTok's data be used to design an AI algorithm with the sole purpose of promoting Chinese interests and destroying our society from within. You want to know why why Democrats and Republicans have come together on this? That's why we are so concerned. Thank you, and I yield back.